Welcome to Clear Picture Cares. I'm your host, Jason Noble, and with me today we have RJ Swist. RJ, thank you so much for being here. We're excited that you're going to be here discussing your background, your experience, but also RJ's mission. I'll turn it over to you. Tell us a little bit about your background.
To keep it simple, I was born in Kansas, grew up in New Jersey, about 20 minutes outside New York City, went to George Mason University in Northern Virginia outside DC, and moved to the Charleston area roughly about 7 or 8 years ago, and been here ever since. Um, Both grandfathers were military, Army. One came back as became a firefighter. One and the other came back as a police officer. So it's always been in my family as far as military, community, first responders, community, and so forth, friends, family, and so from there, it my day job is working for a government contractor for the VA, and
Okay,
that is pretty much it.
I got to ask, what was your driving purpose and passion that led you to starting RJ's mission?
Roughly about 2 years ago, March of 21, if I'm correct. I have a Marine veteran friend who was going through some troubled times, and we speak often, which we don't anymore. Um, the conversation led to me just supporting, and he basically told me he had a gun in his hand and he was going to kill himself. And then from there, the next day, uh, the epiphany, the kick in the butt, whatever you want to call it, the next day is when uh, RJ's mission started. That's when it was born. That's when the idea came, and it started from there as to what can I do, where can I do it, how can I do it. He is doing well. We don't speak as often anymore, but he is receiving the treatment he needs. But that doesn't stop my passion turned purpose any day. And that's
So, what
basically
is the
how it
primary
started.
focus of RJ's mission, RJ? What's the primary focus of your
Our
nonprofit?
primary our primary focus is on our veterans, specifically at Patriot Villas, which is a transition home for veterans here in the Charleston area. And we focus on those 70 to 75 veterans so that we can serve them. Basic needs, food, clothing, and shelters, how I've always lived that everybody should have. They provide the shelter, and we try to provide the food, clothing when needed, stipend every month for supplies. They have a free pantry, so non perishables, paper goods, toiletries, and basically whatever they need. We're here to help them.
That's so important. And, can you share with us some stories about those that you're serving within RJ's mission?
So basically, when this all started, I had no idea what I was doing. I'm not going to lie. I figured, why don't I just do a Google search? So I started volunteering. Obviously, we didn't have the 501c3 right away. That was going to take time. So I started volunteering through soldiersangels.org, and just started showing up to events, started showing up to Patriot Villas, which I saw on Facebook in the local area. CVMA, Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, put on a once a month at the first Saturday, breaking bread with the vets. I just showed up by myself and started meeting people, getting involved, and learning what I can do. Not just, I was volunteering through Soldiers Angels, but I needed to meet people. I needed to figure out what we were going to provide. And I always came back to, like I said, food, clothing, and shelter. And if that's what I can do, that's what I'm going to do.
So here you are, you get off this phone call. It had a profound impact on you and your life. You're still working, but you're
Mhm.
running RJ's mission as well because what you need to do is just get out into the community and seek to understand and learn. Those that are listening, you have to overcome that internal obstacle to then get out of your comfort zone and get into that space. So you did some research online, you found some organizations. Share with our listeners what you came to realize and what you found when you started to put yourself out there. What was that like?
So for me, um, believe it or not, I am an introvert. A lot of people don't believe that, but for me, it's if I'm not going to do things that are outside my comfort zone, I'm not going to mature. I'm not going to become a better person if I'm going in the right direction. So me showing up is fear, scared, not knowing what's going to happen. But I needed to figure out what the path was for RJ's mission, and by showing up, by a story that really touched me early on, even before we had the foundation. CVMA asked me to come and speak in front of them, and these are all veterans. I am not a veteran, so I don't want to mislead people. We do have a board member who is a Marine veteran, a good friend of mine. So CVMA asked me to come and speak to them at the VFW. I mean, I was scared. These are all veterans that I'm trying to help and trying to figure out how I can help better. So I spoke, 5 minutes, just told them what I was doing. Then they asked me why I was there, or actually, they asked me, well, what do you want from us? And at the time, it was just spread the word. I'm not asking for money or donations, just spread the word. Spread what I'm trying to do. Spread what I want everybody to be able to do is serve and volunteer. And then one of the biggest things was they started telling me thank you. And that was a moment for me not understanding why they were thanking me when I feel like I should thank them. And when they started thanking me because I'm not a veteran, and one of them specifically said that, it just makes the um, serving for a greater cause that much more, to know that what you're doing is affecting people. It's making an impact. It's making a difference. And it just puts me with a feeling of being more in awe of our veterans, our first responders, and so forth, to hear that. And it was one of the early defining moments that I had to keep going.
So they were thanking you for what you're doing, but also with you being a civilian, putting your time, energy, and effort
Mm-hmm.
into serving those veterans. I think that's remarkable for sure. And I understand you have a big event coming up around the corner on May 20th. Can you share with us what's going on?
Absolutely. So we started out with serving all heroes for Military Appreciation Month, May 20th. It's going to be at Shaunakeys Whiskey and Cocktail Bar here on Johns Island, May 20th, 1 to 4, an afternoon event. Live music, all you can eat food is included with the ticket. For those that are from Johns Island, Fat Hen, which no longer exists, but their chef Fred is preparing the food. All sides are provided by Home Team Barbecue. It's just going to be a great time to honor and show our appreciation and respect for our military community, for our service members and veterans. And then just last week, the Tom and Karen Wright Veteran Fundraiser in support of our Serving All Heroes is going to be a combined effort that our foundation is going to host. Tom Wright was in the Army. He was an artillery guy during the Vietnam era. So, with that said, we want to. I didn't know Tom, but I don't have to know Tom.
Hmm.
I am here to serve him, honor him for his sacrifice, for his family sacrifice. So, basically, we're all coming together as a community to show our honor and respect for our veterans and service members. And at the same time, we're raising money, which all proceeds 100% go back to the veterans at Patriot Villas. It's going to be a good time. May 20th, 1 to 4. We try to keep it local on Johns Island. I mean, I cannot thank the community enough for the local support and just coming together to make this happen. It's pretty simple. We're all here to serve our veterans, and why not have a fundraiser to make sure that our mission continues.
That's right. That's right. And come on out, May 20th between 1 and 4. And the thing is like, where can people go to register or learn more about this event, learn more about RJ's mission?
So you can go to rjsmission.com. You can learn more about what we do and who we're providing our services to. Um, as far as the event goes, there is a check us out on social media. It's not on the website, but on social media, whether it's Facebook, RJ's Mission, which we had first, or RJ's Mission Foundation. And then on Instagram, you can find it under RJ's Mission Foundation. There's a link. It's all through Donor Box, and there's a QR code you can scan from the flyer that's listed online as well.
So it's rjsmission.com is where you can learn more. You can also go to clearpicturefinancial.com. Under Clear Picture Cares, you will see a link to RJ's mission, and you will see a copy of this conversation as well, with a link right to the website so that you could go to multiple places to learn more. This is such an important thing. And we're working with ABC4 to get the word out, right, RJ? And they came out and they had a conversation with you as well, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. It was, they reached out and it was, timing. Everything's timing. One door closes, one door opens, and it was perfect to become the community partner for May, to get the word out, publicity, and just to make people aware that whether they volunteer through us or donate to us, that being part of a nonprofit, you realize how small the community is and how we all need to come together, because a lot of times these nonprofits are separated and don't know about each other. So it's all about coming together to help each other, whether it's veterans or whatever your heart is into. I think everybody has the opportunity to volunteer, donate, and, just make it worth happening for someone else and put a smile on their face.
And that's the premise of Clear Picture Cares. It's our focus to create awareness, educate our valued listeners and our community to see how they can engage and how they could get involved into
Mhm.
these different nonprofits and charities that are serving those in the low country. It is such a passion of mine to do this. As you know, you have a
Mhm.
full-time job and you're doing RJ's mission. I too have a full-time job being a wealth advisor for my clients, but this is something Clear Picture Cares. When I saw that we were having this meeting, oh, I'm so excited because this is what I wanted to do is get the word out, right? And so if you could leave an impression with our listeners on the value of giving back to our community, what would that be?
I would say that if you can put your needs behind you and put someone else's needs ahead of you and serve them, you are doing something that is just greater than you can ever imagine. The feeling of making someone's day, whether put a smile on their face or provide them a meal. It's not just the, hey, I'm supposed to do that. It's why we're all here is to help each other stand shoulder to shoulder in unity and support one another and put our differences aside. This is all about supporting those that need help, those that might not ask for help. So just putting yourself ahead of someone else to help them out is more than you can ever imagine.
And is there something that you're facing and RJ's mission is facing right now that you think it would be important for the listeners to hear about as far as something that you're coming across, you're approaching, and you're coming across at this time in RJ's missions, kickoff, right? This is, the first 2 years, 3 years is
It's
still a
tough.
kickoff. It is.
It,
So what are you
it's rough.
facing that we should hear about? I want to know that.
Uh, a lot of times, it's it's definitely stress, but it's good stress because it's
Hmm.
the stress I want because I know it's for a greater cause. I would say the fear, many times I've had that, I guess they call it nonprofit burnout, when things weren't happening or things weren't going the way that I thought they would. Everybody wants things fast. I've learned to slow and steady, take one day at a time. We're going to get there. I remember 2 months ago about this fundraiser. I had no idea that it would even come together to where it is. I just work my butt off to contact people. I'm old school. I go door to door. I go in person. It's go to businesses, hand out flyers. Don't waste their time, but give them enough information to where if they care, they'll get back to you. It's definitely the fear, because it's not success. It's helping someone out. What can I do? So it's a different, to me, it's not success. It's an accomplishment to make sure that I can complete the task to help this person out. So I guess my biggest, let's say, challenge is probably, the financial side. Volunteers have been coming out, and, right now I don't need a lot, so which is good. As we grow, obviously we will need it, but financially, just to keep going. It's hard for anyone to ask for donations, but that's part of the nonprofit. You have to. So I've learned very well just to be confident and ask, and if they say no, I move on to the next person. It's okay because you're going to find those like-minded people that are going to volunteer, donate their time and money to help out the veterans. And that's probably the biggest. But like I said, it's good stress, keeps me happy, and I know I'm doing the right thing.
Today, those that are listening, right? I'm not afraid to ask anyone for money. Okay, so if you're listening, you're hearing what RJ is talking about, you could go to rjsmission.com, you could learn more, and then you could be able to donate and
Mm-hmm.
help these veterans be able to get the basic necessities that RJ was talking about earlier. This is so
Mm-hmm.
important. We want to serve those that served our country and give back to those who put their needs behind them to put our freedom ahead of them.
Exactly.
This is why they serve. They're given an order. We may not agree with the order, but they're given an order and they execute to that order. So this is the order that we have for those that are listening, right? With Clear Picture Cares, it's about connecting the community to the low country's community leaders. If someone wanted to get involved in your organization, either by donating or joining, like where would they go to learn more and be able to take that step?
They can go to rjsmission.com, and there is a form that they can fill out to get connected. We will be starting to send out newsletters here pretty soon. We're still young and still learning, so they can sign up for the Connect form, and we keep track of it. They can send me an email. I usually answer the emails personally because it's how it works right now.
Yeah.
And the phone number also is my direct number to my cell phone. There is no way not to connect with me. Now, just give me time to get back to you because of everything else going on. And, from there, we just connect, collaborate, and figure out what we can do together.
And,
Pretty simple.
and before we sign off, May 20th between 1 and 4, where can they go to register for that event and where is the event? Just share that with us one more time.
May 20th, 1 to 4 at Shawneke's on Johns Island off of Maybank. You can go to our Facebook page. You can go to Instagram handle, and you can find all the information that you need to purchase tickets early, or you can even just show up. You can buy tickets right on site to get in.
Oh, wonderful. This was RJ Swiss with at Clear Picture Cares. I'm your host, Jason Noble. Thank you for tuning in and listening. We appreciate it, and we'll be back next month in our next edition of Clear Picture Cares. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you.